what would be qualifying as a good season for Florida in 2025? The schedule's brutal. We'll talk about all that. We'll talk about DJ Lagway, what he has to do, and Billy Napier year 4. But just like when the dust settles, what would be a good season? We'll give you our take right now. Before we do that, they'll make sure you are subscribed to the On3 YouTube channel. If you're a Florida Gator fan, want more content around your Gators, the best way to let us know that is by subscribing to the channel. The way this whole thing works, we do the video, put it out, we see how many of y'all subscribe. We do a Florida-centric video, and y'all are dialed in. It's like, okay, Florida fans are dialed in. We're going to give them what they want to see. So with that being said, what's a good season? Here's what I want to make sure we start with. I think in year 4 for Billy Napier, we are no longer evaluating Florida's football season in the context of, well, it's, look at the schedule. Because the schedule has to be a part of it, but I don't think we should do it so much more in a vacuum is what I mean here when I talk about Florida. A good season for Florida should not be defined by how tough the schedule is, in my humble opinion. A year ago, what we were saying was, win total is one thing. As long as it's 6 or better, we can talk about, how it looked. I don't think we're having that same discussion anymore. In my mind, those things are flipped. I think right now we're talking about, okay, how many wins did we get? And then how did it look in the games that we didn't win? Like last year, the wins sort of felt secondary to a certain degree. Again, as long as it was over that 6-win threshold. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think right now in year 4, there is so much that Billy Napier has done behind closed doors to build out, and Florida fans have been told to be patient, and the brand is what it is. Like there's all these factors that combine to where it's like, gotta win now. And so I think when you look at that schedule and you have a conversation around how many wins they should have, someone with no dog in the fight, like myself, might sit back and say, hey man, you win 8 games. That's pretty solid with the toughest schedule in college football. That's not anything to scoff at. That might be quote-unquote good relative to the output you put out against how many difficult teams you have to play. I think for Florida fans, though, in year 4, knowing the schedule, seeing what you did last year, hoping and praying your starting quarterback is able to be 110% healthy the entirety of the season, you're like, okay, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here, Billy Napier? Because we're in year 4. So it feels to me a lot like it's that determine the relationship kind of conversation, kind of season for Billy Napier and for Florida. What actually are we? Because we had this talking phase at the end of last year, and it was fun. We beat Ole Miss, we beat LSU. Vibes were fun. Vibes were it's a good feeling in games. But what are we actually going to be, though? Because after 3 seasons where you're building it, the 4th season, I want to actually get some return on investment. And so I think a good season for Florida is 9 wins. Like 9, you're having a discussion around the college football playoff. You're probably hoping you get some breaks to get you in at 9-3 with how tough that schedule is. Now, I think there's also some Florida fans that are saying, no, JD, 9's not it, man. Got to get to 10. With this roster, with how we've built it, with the money we've spent, with the patience we've had, with the quarterback we have to get to 10. We have to be a college football playoff team. And while I disagree with that thought, I don't disagree with what you're saying. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think you're wrong for feeling that way. I personally am just like, the schedule is the schedule. So that's tough and that sucks and that kind of is what it is. Here's the second level question I want to ask. I think a good season is 9 wins. Florida fans, is it good enough for you? Is it good enough relative to Billy Napier and his job security? Because remember, last year, post A&M, we're all saying Billy Napier's cooked and who's the next guy at Florida, and then they go out and finish the season strong, and he's your guy here going into next season, and I'm here for that. But after last year having to come out and give a vote of confidence for Billy Napier from the powers that be at Florida, it proves there was already some ice that was getting more and more thin in Gainesville, right? Like that was kind of where we were living. I personally think if you get to 9 wins, heck, if you get to 8 wins and it looks the right way, which Florida fans are probably unhappy with me saying this out loud, but I'm going to say it. If you get to 8 wins and it looks the right way, I would not fire Billy Napier. The reason why? It's 2025 in the world of college football. It's not a situation where you fire a head coach and people stick around because if they had to transfer out, they would have to sit for a year, and they love Florida, and I have no doubt there's guys on that football team that are loyal to Florida, loyal to the university, all those things. But in modern college football, it is proven you fire your coach, you're throwing a stick of dynamite at that roster. You're saying, blow it all up, We'll let the next coach come in, have some resources, try to piece it back together, and then you're waiting another year or two, maybe 3 years, 4 years, until you get back to a spot where you expect to be competing for the SEC, competing for the college football playoff. You're at a point now where you actually have a roster. At the very least, you have a quarterback who will be back for another season after this upcoming year. You really want to blow the roster up if you win 8 games and say, DJ Lagway, thanks, but no thanks. You're free to figure out if you want to stay at Florida or not. We're going to throw you this massive question mark. Like, make no mistake, Billy Napier is a big reason why DJ Lagway is at Florida. Recruited him, good relationship, clearly by nature of everything DJ Lagway is saying on social media when it comes to Billy Napier having that vote of confidence from the powers that be. Like, we can tell there's a tie there. People commit to people. DJ Lagway committed to Billy Napier. I'm sure for a good amount of money, but like committed to Billy Napier. I would be very hesitant to hit the reset button on this roster because I feel like you've worked up to a spot where your roster is good enough to be very competitive in college football. The schedule is just what we're all having the yeah but about. Like, yeah, we love the offensive line, love the defensive line. I like the depth a lot. I like the skill players, like the quarterback. Yeah, but that schedule sucks. Okay, so wait a year. See what the draw is this time next year. Because Cato and I were talking before we got on the air here, there is a 0% chance that the schedule is as tough as it is this year and what it was last year. There's a 0% chance that's what it looks like in 2026. Now, will it be leaps and bounds better to where you're just already buying playoff tickets? It's the SEC, I wouldn't say that. But we all understand this is kind of a sucky deck of cards to be dealt here if you're Florida. We're trying to rebuild things when Billy Napier gets there. We get the schedule straight out of the Squid Games, and now we're going into year 4 where we have to assess him in year 4 against this schedule. Again, I'm not telling you that I'm okay with a 7-win season, a 6-win season. If that happens, conversation changes. But you get to 9 wins, 9 wins in year 4 after what you were the last couple of years, I think as long as the losses aren't atrocious, 8 wins, as long as losses aren't atrocious, I'm okay with Billy Napier staying at Florida for another year and seeing where this thing goes in 2026. Now, again, a good season for me is 9 wins. Florida fans might pound the table for 10, but with that schedule, 9 to me is a good season. And I'm kind of walking this line of taking the schedule into account versus just saying it's year 4, you got to win some more games. I think 9 is the exact right number for that. So we're at a point now where the win total, I think, is more important than it's ever been. Got to look the right way for sure in the losses, but I think 9 is a good season for Billy Napier here going into another year in Gainesville. Florida fans, get in the comment section, Twitter, Instagram, at JD PicKell. Let me know on there. What's a good year for Florida in 2025? Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We'll keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.